he decided to have y'all meet over here with me rather than back at the facility. So I don't know which one's better for y'all, but it must be better for Claude to meet over here since he made us meet over here. But I was pleased with the effort and toughness in the scrimmage. We had some physical hits, some good striking, good toughness, and I challenged the guys that's what I wanted to see. So it wasn't like we saved up for the scrimmage. You know, we had a long 2.5 hour practice yesterday. It was pretty hot yesterday, and they followed that up with a good scrimmage. It was a little cool early. I thought it was overcast, but sun kind of cranked up towards the end, and the guys pushed hard. A lot of undisciplined penalties. You know, we had a lot of sloppy penalties, which are usually evident early in the preseason. You know, offsides, face mask, false start, offsides. There's a lot of undisciplined things that not indicative of a good football team. But you know, I thought the kids played hard. Jake punted well. He hit a couple that probably outrunner his coverage. Landon had a couple decent, wasn't quite as consistent as Jake. I thought both quarterbacks played well. They did some good things. You know, they did some things in the passing game that helped us. You know, defensively we played well in spurts. I think offense had a couple big plays. But all in all, we got a long way to go to get better. What I want to do is reserve judgment on some of these freshmen until I'm able to go watch this tape. I did think some of our older players, or I should say, not necessarily older, more experienced players, played better, which I kind of challenged them to do this morning. And I thought they answered the bell and really competed hard. So I was proud of that. But with that, I'll open it up.
Coach, I assume you were pleased with the news that Demetrius got his eligibility, and so could you take us through a little bit of how you found out about that and kind of what the process was like before it came to fruition?
Yeah, I'm restrained in what I can really talk about the basis of the appeal. But as far as the process went for me, compliance had the waiver go in, and from that, the NCAA looked it over and sent back to us yesterday that he was granted the appeal, and he would be eligible to play immediately. And obviously, we're excited. I'm really excited for Demetrius because he's a great kid, and you know he's blended in well with our team. The one thing about him I wasn't aware of is he's played with really good toughness. He's gone out and competed every day. You know, he's probably not in the shape that our guys are because our guys go through this summer running, conditioning, lifting. He didn't do that. Now, I know he worked out on his own, but it's never the same. So I'm really pleased with his work ethic, but his conditioning has got to improve to really be able to help us this season.
What is he, you know, as you've known him for a long time, you guys recruited him super hard out of high school. What is, for those that aren't familiar with him, what does he bring to you guys and where can he make a difference?
Well, he's a good wideout. I mean, he was a kid in high school that was a track guy. I mean, I remember he ran a lot of races against Nate McBride and Miko. And that's how I recruited those guys. They were always kind of the same track meets, kind of around the same area, and they were all just. So he's got good speed. He's bright. He's picked the offense up. We just kind of let him go out there and play, and he's naturally picked things up really well. But you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of competition in that receiver room. So it's not like, I mean, I know y'all got the 5-star syndrome. There's a lot of guys out there that weren't 5-stars that are competing every day. And I'm proud of the way Demetrius has competed. But there's guys out there, Jason Stanley and Tyler Simmons, to me, those two guys they have worked their tail off. They were dominant special teams players last year. This year, this spring, I mean, so far this fall, they've really been good wideouts and special teams players. So there's going to be good competition in that room.
Kirby, what about his ability to make plays downfield, go vertical? You know, you studied him, I guess even in high school probably. How special is he in that regard?
I don't know. I mean, he's been here for a few practices, but I don't. You know, in high school he played defensive back. He played everything. You know, and he probably played at a level where it didn't matter who he was going against. He was going to outrun them. You know, he's playing in the SEC now. There's guys just as fast as him out there. So this league, you find out real quick when you get bump and run every down. When you play South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, Auburn, they're going to bump and run you every down. So, you know, that's not exactly where he came from. The league he came where they're always pressed on him. So he's done a great job competing. I'm very pleased with where he is. I want him to continue to work, to develop, learn the offense, and help us every way he can.
What are the things that you look for in your quarterbacks at this stage and in this particular scrimmage?
Yeah, leadership. Talking creates toughness. So if you can talk to your offensive line, your backs, receivers, command of the huddle, command of the offense, decision making. When you're in the red area, are you secure with the ball? We got points. Are we going to make sure we get a field goal? Or are we going to take a risk and take a chance on losing it? Are you securing the ball in the pocket? What's your turnover to touchdown ratio? All the things involved are going to go into those things. And both those guys did a good job with the command of their huddle today. I thought both of them have really good presence in the, we'll say huddle, because we're not always huddled, but they have good command of the offense.
Kirby, you talked about some good hitting today. You care to elaborate on that? Was it defensive, offensive?
Oh, no, it was everything. Special teams, blocking, tackling. I thought, Holyfield had a good run. Then Juwan Taylor had a good stick on Holyfield. Swift had good runs. And there was some physicality out there. A lot of it was receivers cracking DBs. And to me, that's what creates toughness in your team, is how many guys are physically tough and not weakened by the 50th blow and the 55th blow and the 57th blow. You play 60 snaps today. So how many of those snaps are you striking somebody and playing tough and physical on? That part, they answered the bell on. We got to play smarter. We got to get in better shape. We got to have less undisciplined plays.
You see 60 snaps total, or was that just for the ones, or?
No, there was lots of snaps out there. 60, around 60 for the ones, around 60 for the twos, around 30 for the threes. We got depth, we got competition, so we just had more snaps out there than we've probably ever had since I've been here. We got around 150 or so.
Kirby, when you talk about competition, and obviously guys are creating a culture of ones versus twos, kind of guy beat them off the depth chart, that kind of thing. Do you notice in a scrimmage, just without watching film, a guy that's made a move in that regard?
It's hard without watching the tape. I want to reserve judgment until I see the tape. And we go ones on twos during scrimmage and then ones on ones. So what I like about it is most of our practices are ones on ones. So you never see two offense go against a one defense. You never see vice versa. The two defense goes against the one offense. You want to see those things match up. And this is one of those where we get to do 1-on-1, 2-on-1, 1-on-2, so Lamont's blocking a different nose guard, the tackler's blocking a different end, and then you go back and watch the tape and find out who's playing well and who can improve.
When do you watch it typically? Do you go straight back right now, or do you wait?
Yeah, I do it both ways. Typically tomorrow's a day off for our players, so I'll watch it tonight, but a lot of times I watch it early Sunday morning.
Do you ever see anything that you really didn't
Oh,
see?
yeah, live.
From up top, or where?
Yeah. No, I watch it from the film.
Right.
Compared to sitting on the sideline. I'm on the sideline doing the
You see it a
scrimmage.
lot
on the field.
different than.
Yeah, you see a lot of things you didn't see. So I'm a point of attack guy, or I'm watching the point of attack, but you learn a lot about away from the play. So that's why you have a tape, so you can go back and watch it and make judgments. You guys want me to give you information now. I have a lot better information after I watch the tape. It's hard to see out there a lot of times.
You mentioned leadership. A couple of your players mentioned Demetrius Patrick as a leader last week in interviews. Are you seeing what you want? And also, did you get through the practice unscathed?
Yeah,
Injuries.
I don't know. Eric Stokes, I think, cramped up a little bit. Tyreek McGee had a little foot injury, but I don't know the results of that yet. But unscathed to me would be exactly that. Those two things they didn't seem serious. We'll know more later on, but you go into these scrimmages a little more worried because your guys on the ground more often seemed like we came out all right. I don't remember the first part.
Patrick Demetrius, the
Yeah,
leadership.
Nate Trez has always been a good leader. Nate Trez is, the biggest thing with Nate Trez is having stamina himself to perform at an SEC level. His stamina has to improve. He has to be able to play 30 plays in a row. But his leadership has always been a good quality because he's not afraid to speak up. He's not afraid to challenge guys that aren't playing the right way. But his ability to sustain and do it for 40 plays has been the biggest mark he's got to improve on.
Concerning the injuries, I think last couple of practices, Kieris has been a little bit limited, and
He didn't get to go today.
where's Webb at too? Just one of those.
Webb's out there. Webb scrimmaged some today. Kieris has had a hamstring. I think Webb has had a little bit of a growing, but Webb was able to go today. He should have been out there today in Indy when you guys were there, so he was there. But Kieris has got a hamstring, so he's not able to do everything, and I hate that because he was really popping and developing well. But he'll be back. He'll be back soon. I don't know how much longer he's got, but that's the thing. And then Terry is still dinged up. You know, Terry hadn't been able to get out there and go, and hoping to get him back soon.
What about Nate McBride?
Yeah, Nate's been out a little bit. Yeah, I think he should be back. He should be back Monday or Tuesday.
Kirby, I talked to Isaac at the beginning of camp, and he said one thing that y'all challenged him was to lose a little weight, get stronger. He said he did that, but then the next thing was him being more of a vocal leadership. Has he done that in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, Isaac Niles is great. He's a great example of a guy who came in here. I think it helped me in an IMG school he went to. They developed really good leadership. He's not afraid to speak up. You know, he's one of those guys. He doesn't really care what you think. So if he sees it one way and he doesn't think you're doing it right, he'll call you out on it. And he's one of our leaders. He's one of the guys that's really got to step up and play well and lead. And he's answered the bell in that regard. He's a positive leader on that offensive side of the ball.
On Demetrius, I know you can't comment on the basis of the appeal, but as far as the NCAA kind of continuing to show kind of welfare of student athletes, is this kind of a reflection of that?
You know, I don't know that because I don't really know what the basis was for it. It was independent, and they decided that they were going to grant it. I mean, it is pretty obvious that they're granting more of them if you look across the board, and they seem more lenient when it comes to it. But like I said a while back, each case is independent of the previous, so they've got their reasoning for looking at it. I don't necessarily know that. You know, it's not. I got a lot more pressing things to worry about. I can only go with what they decide and what they do, but it certainly looks to be that way.
Did you, at the outset, were you fairly confident this was going to happen, or were you completely like, even this week, not knowing
I really
how it was
didn't
going to
know. I
turn?
really had no idea. You know, I think when those other ones came through, like y'all mentioned, that you started to think, well, wouldn't that bear favorably upon us? But I think that would have been a poor assumption because it just is going to be based on his appeal alone. I am happy that he's going to be able to get closer to his family and be able to play close to home.
Kirby, with Julian Rochester, what are you looking to see from him in terms of how close is he to being dependable like John Atkins at that spot?
I would have said Julian was dependable last year. I'm looking for him to be a difference maker. I'm looking for him to be a force to be reckoned with. You know, he's not quite like John. You know, he's faster, probably more athletic than John, but he might not be as good as John at doing what John did, which is control the center and the out front. And Julian can do a lot of other things that John couldn't do, but that's one of the things he's really worked on. He's gotten better at balanced body control and when he gets hit, staying on balance. So he's got to improve in that area. He has, but he still has a ways to go. For us to be a great defense, the likes of Julian and Tyler Clark, DeQuan Hawkins, and Michael Barnett, they got to play better. Got to play more physical. We got to knock people back to be a dominant defensive team.
Two more questions. I'm sorry, did Richard make the sort of plays and play with the sort of consistency that you were looking for in the scrimmage today?
You know, I don't know. He didn't give up any big plays. He didn't make any big plays, so that might be the best he's done yet because I'm looking for a level of consistency. I know there was a couple plays where somebody I thought might got behind him, but it didn't cost him. I'm really just about the process with Richard. Did you look at the right thing and did you do it right? If you do that, you'll be successful. Where he thinks about, did I get an interception, did I get a tackle? That's not the important thing at safety. The important thing is, did you look at the right thing and did you do the right thing? Because if you don't, it can cost us dearly. And I've repeated to him over and over, it's not your job to make those plays. It's your job to do your job.
Kirby, who won today?
You know, early on, I would have said the defense. And there were some explosive plays by the offense. I mean, I really think walking off the field, usually you walk off the field feeling one way or the other. I feel almost a split. But there's so many times I've said that I go back and watch it, and I go, man, I was wrong there. So if I had to say right now, I'd say draw. But my coaches will probably disagree with me if they watch the tape, so I have to watch it and see.
Special teams?
Special teams are some good hit punts. I didn't think we had the juice in special teams. We're talking about coverage, return units, cover and return and punts. We had a lot of competition. But guys were almost winded, tired. They didn't play with the effort we need in that.
Thank you.